Hello viewers, my name is Onyechukwu and I'll be taking you guys on how to measure yourself. As a tailor, you don't need to go to another person and say please measure me. You have to do it yourself. But on my subsequent videos, I'll be taking you guys on fashion designs, arts and crafts. So after this video, if you like my video, please do subscribe. It is highly needed. Then like, share and hit the notification button. So for you to do your measurements, your personal measurements, you need your tape, your soft measurement tape. You need a pen to take your record and a jotter where you record it. So we start. The first thing you measure, you have to, like me, I like taking on all the vertical measurements, like my shoulder, my neck, my bust, my waist, blah blah blah. All those measurements, you have to do them first. So my vertical measurements, I start with my neck. Touch your neck, the backbone of your neck. You feel the biggest one. Rest your tape on that bone. Take it round to the front and rest it to your front neck bone. You feel the two neck bones. Take it there, and that's your measurement. And once you are comfortable, you feel you are comfortable with the measurement, then record it. Okay, so the next is your shoulder. Your shoulder, it depends on the type of dress you are making. If you're making a silk dress, or if you're making a shirt hand dress, or a puffy dress, a puffy hand dress, it depends on what you are making. That's when you know what to measure or how to measure your shoulder. For me, I want to measure a standard shoulder. So you have to take a finger, place it on your shoulder, move it up and down. You feel your bone moving. That's where you take your shoulder measurement. So place your tape that place and record it. Okay, this is my shoulder. Then the next is my upper bust. Excuse me. The next is my upper bust. Upper bust is round. Upper bust, rest it on your bust. Before your bust, rest it and make sure that your measurement is horizontal to the floor. This is your upper bust. Make sure it is horizontal to the floor. It's not too tight and it's not loose. Once you are comfortable with the measurement, record it. Then I measure my bust. My bust. This is bust measurement. It has to be parallel to the floor. Okay, let it rest on top of your bust, the biggest part of your bust. Okay, and make sure it is parallel to the floor. This is your bust measurement. Once you are comfortable and satisfied, record your measurements. Then under bust. Your under bust is that place where the brow wire sits. That is where you measure your under bust, and make sure it is tight. For us in Nigeria that do padded dress, if it is not tight, it's not going to carry your bust. So let it be tight and also comfortable. So once you are okay with it, this is your under bust. Once you are okay with it, record your measurements. Okay, so we go to the waist. Waist is the tiniest part of the body, of most women's body. Is the tiniest part. So turn it around and make sure it's sitting vertical, it's sitting parallel to the floor. Make sure it's sitting parallel to the floor. So once you are comfortable, take your measurement. Okay, so we have our abdomen. Abdomen is the place between your waist and your navel. At times I use it as my skirt waist or my pant waist. It depends. If you want to do a high waist dress, at times I use it, or most often I use it. So this is your abdomen. Make sure it is parallel to the floor. Once you are comfortable with it, then record your measurements. The next is the hip. Hip is the biggest part of most women's body. The hip. Use your hand and find the apex of your hip. Rest your tape on it, move it around, make sure you are comfortable and your tape is parallel to the floor. This is your hip measurements. Okay, So the next is my flap up. I don't know what other tailors or designers call it, but where I learned my own sewing, my madam do call it flap up. So I've been calling it flap up. This is my flap up. This is my flap up. Make sure it reaches the center. Up, up, up. Make sure it is up there. Okay, this is your flap up. This is how you measure your flap up. Make sure it is parallel to the floor. Okay, the next is my knee, and I also call it my flap down. This is my knee. Make sure it's not too tight and it's not loose. Okay, when you use your when you even measure the flap up and flap down, it's when you are doing your shorts, your knicker, your trousers, all those two-legged dresses. That is when you measure your flap up and down. Okay, so the next is my ankle. The next is my ankle. I measure my ankle round. Let your tape sit on the ankle bone. Okay, take it round your ankle. This is my ankle. Okay, then excuse me, my arm. I have to measure my arm round it. This is my arm. Oh, 15. I'm getting fat, you see. 15. Okay, this is my round arm. Then my elbow. This is my round elbow. And don't keep your elbow straight like this. Keep it folded. To get a better measurement, you have to keep it folded. Okay, this is my elbow. Keep it like this. Make sure it's excuse me, make sure it is on top of your elbow. Okay, this is my elbow. Then my wrist. Feel your two wrist bones. This is my wrist. Then measure around it to get your wrist measurement. This is my wrist. Okay, with this I am done with all the vertical measurements, and I'm about to do the horizontal measurements. So note, horizontal measurements are very important. They will make you to get the y-axis of your dress when you are drawing your dress. That is when you are sketching the dress on the pattern on your fabric. The horizontal measurements are very important because they are the y-axis of it. So you have to measure from your shoulder to your upper bust. Most people that are of average height, their upper bust is 6, but my own is 7 because I'm a bit taller. Then you measure from your shoulder to your middle bust, that is your nipple. Measure from your shoulder to your under bust. Then again from your shoulder, you know the under bust is where the wire is, that is where you measure. Then you measure from your shoulder to your waist. See how I'm holding it. Then you can bend and then check the measurements. Then you measure from your shoulder again to your abdomen. See how I'm feeling my navel is above my navel. Okay, that's from my shoulder to my navel. Then from my shoulder to my hip, or maybe from my shoulder I can even get my top length. If I want the top length to be cropped up, I take the measurements, or if I want it to be on my hip, I take the measurements. Okay, then from my shoulder to my crotch, that's my flap up. Some people call it crotch. To my flap up. If you're doing a knicker or a jumpsuit or a play suit, you have to take this measurement. It is very important. Then you don't have to bend yet, because if you bend, you get an incorrect measurement. So you have to stretch your arm as long as your arm can stretch, your hand can stretch it. Then you can now bend. Okay, get from your shoulder to your knee, or flap down as I often call it. Then from your shoulder to your midi, if you're doing a midi dress, from your shoulder to your ankle. If you're doing an ankle length dress, then I take my full length, and my full length is 67. You see, I'm a tall person. Thank you very much for watching my video. If you like my video, please do subscribe, like and share. Thank you very much.